What's going on, beautiful people? So recently I did my very first aquarium setup in a public space. This was at my local fish store, Maidenhead Aquatics, and it turned out brilliant. I absolutely loved making the video. You guys seem to really have enjoyed it as well. But anyway, near the end of the video, the manager there, Matt, he put his GoPro inside the tank and it just showed the whole thing from a different perspective. Completely different to when you're looking at it face on. Right inside the tank is just amazing. Right, let's take a look at what we got then. I bought the GoPro 9 simply because it was about a third off price-wise than the 10, and it does everything that I can see I need for my purposes anyway. And then I bought this little suctiony thing as well. I'll leave links to these in the description if you guys are interested, and that can then be just constantly moved on different tanks. It come with some other bits and bobs, but obviously that's sticky, but we need suction because I want to reuse it. So this is the tank that I want to be taking a look at, but before we do, let me get that glass super clean. You probably can't see anything on here, but hang on. Yeah, look down the side there, very dirty. Right, now I need to attach this to this. Any GoPro experts in the house? This must be something to do. Ah, yes, I've got it. Do that, put that in there, stick that bit through, do it up nice and tight. Yes, I think we're ready to go. Right, switching the GoPro on. That's not the power button. There we go. And oh, I need to clean the lens. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Start real speed. What is that? I don't know what that means. Powering off? Oh. How does this thing work? There's like no button. Right, I'm recording. We're going into the tank. We're underwater. I hope I sealed it all correctly. Okay, it's quite fiddly. Oh, there we go. We're on. Okay, how does that look? So right off the bat, I think this view looks so good. You could argue, why don't you just put your camera up to the side of the tank? And I did think of that myself, but when you look through the glass, you lose that sense that you're actually in the tank because obviously you're not. Literally, it's completely different. But what I'm loving about the interior view like this is you can really see where the main action is. Like, we're getting a lot going on at the top of the tank, and that makes sense because there's only a few cories that will be at the bottom, isn't there? So there the thing is, the fish seem interested in it, which makes sense, obviously they would be. We're recording. I don't know if that's too bright. I've got no idea if this is actually going to work. Maybe I should put it lower and point it upwards. Yeah, we'll try that as well. So that's lower down and pointing right across the tank. I don't know, does it look cool? Does this look better? I mean, it's a completely different perspective, isn't it? So, like, something about face on creates like a frame, doesn't it? Like, because the tank is naturally that, like a picture frame, we get used to seeing it like that, I think. So when we see it from inside the tank, it's actually quite shocking. Shocking is probably not the right word. So this next shot is on the other side of the tank and a lot lower down. For this particular tank, being lower down basically presents no action at all, but I thought it was like a good little gap we get a view of thing. I then raised the camera up to the top part and look, it's like a completely different tank. There's so much going on. We've got the rainbows, the celestial pearl danios, the green neon tetra, and those amazing endlers. We've got those koi endlers. They look so good. Babies everywhere as well. Right, I'm really pleased with that. I think it looks so cool. And obviously this is trial and error to me because I've never done it before, but it seems like that last shot where we're up high worked really well for this tank because there's a lot of fish that stay near the surface. That's not going to be the same for all the tanks, is it? So the neons might be a really cool one to try out, plus the albino cherry barbs next to them. Oh, the Congo tetras as well. They're going to be cool. But the next one that I really want to try out is the Rainbowfish one. There was huge amounts of moss in here before, so we wouldn't have seen a lot, but I've taken that all down. You can see all these browny bits now. That's where I ripped out big chunks of moss. It just needed to be done, but it means we're going to be able to see the fish really well. So these guys, they kind of are staying in the up areas, aren't they? So I think I'll mount the camera about halfway and just see how that looks. So I first stuck the camera to the side and you couldn't really see anything because the way I've got the hardscape set up in this tank. So then just took it off the suction cup and tried to rest it in between one of the branches, but again was really struggling to see what was going on. So I think I'm going to stick it completely on the other side. Okay, so I'm putting the camera this side. Oh, the fish are right up to us. Should probably put it on record, shouldn't I? It's clipped on right near the surface there. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Right, okay, am I recording? I've connected it to my phone. There we go, I'm recording. Awesome. I think I'm going to feed them as well. Right, they're all buzzing around nicely. Just pick up some of my food. I think it's still recording. The screen's gone black, but I suppose we'll see in a minute. Right, let's put some food in, see how they... Oh, they're diving loads. I need to go more to the middle because otherwise they're just going to be right up to the camera. Oh yeah, it is recording. We can see it flashing. Whee! Jump, 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 jump. Oh, these guys are absolute pigs. They just eat it so fast. Look, let's put some more in. There's loads going in the top there, look. Jump, jump, jump. We're not to forget about the cories as well. I'll make sure that I put some pellet in for them too. Here we go, look. There you go, cories. Quite a lot in there. It's a big feed day. I haven't fed them I didn't feed them all day yesterday because I wasn't here, so every other day, sometimes every third day I feed. It just depends what I'm doing and where I am. It's quite funny actually, the rainbows, they're not massively interested in small pieces of food, they only go for big chunks. So one tank that I am massively interested in doing this to is the tank behind me, the electric blue AQUARIAN tank, or also the Amazon tank as well, because it's mostly Amazon fish in there. No, actually I think it is all Amazon fish in there. Am I right? I think I'm right. Anyway, so here is the tank. She is currently getting topped up with water. I don't need to do water changes in this tank anymore. As you can see, it's looking really, really good. This has happened again. I'm gonna remove the majority of all of these floating plants. This is Salvinia. It's because it's such a big surface area. We've got these two big bright LED floodlights, and it's just meaning that everything grows so fast. But that said, I'm not complaining though. That fast growth just means that the water quality is pristine. Like, imagine all these plants plus all of that as well. It's like double plant growth, isn't it? We've got some really interesting algae growing on there and on there. So it's basically, what is it? It's like a type of staghorn, I guess. It's growing in areas with high flow. It's very easy to pick off though, so I'm not too worried about it. Right, that's the water top off done. Switch that off. So I fill my tanks up to about that high, usually a tiny little bit less, but I just got distracted. I'll probably take some out in a minute because that stops any sort of jumping. I don't get any fish jumping out, as you can see, because there's so many in here. So I want to try this one a little bit different. I want to actually hold the camera and sort of dive into the tank with you whilst I film it and talk about what I'm probably not seeing from the surface, but I've got my phone app to see what I'm seeing, if you know what I mean. All right then, here we go, the deep dive into the tank. The fish are already expecting something to go on. I don't know how this is actually going to look. Am I really close to them? From the outside, it's hard to see what you're looking at unless you can see the screen. But they're not all running away, or swimming away, sorry, like really quickly, which is quite cool. We get a good look at everything. Okay, the blue AQUARIANs. Look at the size of that blue AQUARIAN down there. I don't know how this is turning out at all, but hopefully it's looking pretty cool. You might notice on some of the plants here, look at this sort of red stuff all on the plants. That's algae, it's staghorn algae. And I've managed to burn it off, if you like, with some CO2 booster, some API CO2 booster, which is a form of glutaraldehyde. It's actually killing off all of it, which is awesome. Look at these Colombians. Really, really interested in what I'm doing. I can get so close to the AQUARIANs as well. They're not shy. Look at this one. It's right next to my finger. It's almost like they're completely fine with me being in the tank with them. Okay, down here to the Bolivian rams. Hi guys, come back. I will not hurt you. This is so cool. It's like, I'm gonna have a look right inside. The whole point of this camera is I can get right in everywhere. Let's have a look back here. Oh, it's a bit tight. There we go, look, I'm right behind the tank now. How cool is that? I don't know if there's anything down there, is there? We've got some cories in here, so there should be some panda cories. Don't know where they are at the moment. It's pretty cool that you can just keep it in here and all the fish aren't like completely petrified. Look at that one there, that's the scissor tail tetra, look. So beautiful. And oh yeah, I forgot about the golden ram. How could I forget about you, my friend? Come back. This is so cool. So I really liked how that one went, just like diving in with the camera. So I've got a brand new setup. I always do that. It's so hard because I'm looking, there's a screen above you and it's all opposite. Anyway, I'm gonna dive into this tank straight away. We're just gonna go right, well, I should show you it properly first. So yeah, this right here is the tank that I've just set up. I went for like a real natural sort of fallen log look. We've got sparkling gouramis in here, look. We've got the glow light tetras, and we've got those new amazing red coral pencil fish. There they are. Look at that. Wow, look at the coloration. Bit dark. These guys have coloured up even more now since I first put them in. I want to see what they look like right inside as well. Okay, this should be a little bit better now. I've managed to turn on the anti-flicker, so hopefully, you know, we're all good. Oh, there's a floating plant up there. Hang on. Right, in we go. Whee. I don't know why I've got to make noises like that. Okay, I want to find the pencil fit. There's one right there. They're hanging around that Amazon sword at the back. Look at that. I want to get in a bit closer. Hi guys, I'm not shy at all. I'm so close here, and the fish aren't too skittish, which is cool. I'm guessing this one here must be like a female, because there's nowhere near as much colour on her, look. And then the males are usually more colourful, the species, aren't we? Oh, little sparkling gourami down there. Again, all the fish are not bothered at all by me being in here, which is strange. I thought they would be. Most of these fish, apart from the glow light tetras and the red corals, have been around me a long time, so they're used to me. They're used to me being the one that feeds them. So look, we've got some really nice endlers in here, haven't we? Look at those colours. The glow lights are awesome in terms of schooling behaviour, but look how fast they are. They're just in and out so quick. I mean, that's typical of a Danio, to be fair, isn't it? And I tell you, another really cool thing about having this camera is because look, we can come right in, we can go and check out areas that might be collecting detritus at the back that we can't see, and it'll be giving us like tips on how to, where to clean later on, which will be quite cool. Not this tank, because it's all clean because it's brand new, isn't it? So yeah, that's pretty cool tank this. So next up, we've got the African river tank behind me. Now that's got the Congo tetras in. Really interested to see how they behave as well with the camera around them. They're quite skittish, and they always have been, you know. They're fine with me feeding, but anywhere near the tank, if I'm cleaning it or trimming, they hide at the back. But if they do, I can follow them. So to start with, as expected, as soon as I put the camera in the tank, the Congo tetras went right to the back here and just started sort of hanging around in a big group to feel secure. I tried to move as slowly as possible so he didn't get scared, and it did sort of work, because you can see here we've got a group at the front and we've got that male Cubensis finally poking his head out, which is cool. All the little Cubensis were really skittish though, and as soon as I got anywhere near, just went and hid. But to be honest, that is completely to be expected and normal behaviour. If you're a small fish, what you do is you just hide, don't you, until you're bigger and you can be more inquisitive and aggressive like the male was. The Congo tetras do this thing where they hide around one side, and if you go round there, they'll do this like circular lap or roundabout mode where they all come into the foreground and then go back again, and after a while they were actually fine with me being there. But they're not silly. As soon as I got anywhere too close, like to try and pick up big detail like I was getting in the other tanks, nah, we're not having any of it, and then just go back round the other side again, which is absolutely fine. How close do we really need to get? I can always do some close-ups outside the tank, can't I? You may be noticing in this tank as well, there's quite a bit of BBA algae on some of the Bobitus, the wood. Actually, every plant that's sort of slow growing in there has got some on it. And this is the only tank in both my studios that's got BBA in it. BBA, by the way, for you that don't know, is blackbeard algae. There's like a brushy sort of dark algae. It's not that bad, to be honest. Like, of all the algae, it doesn't look that bad. It's not like covering everything. Some people absolutely hate it and just constantly try to get rid of it. If I wanted it out of here, I'd use like blasting it with CO2 booster or something like that from a syringe, but to be honest, it doesn't bother me that much. It doesn't look too bad either. It kind of gives it like a natural vibe, and to be honest, I'm changing this tank soon as well, because we've done an 8-foot build at my local Maidenhead aquatic store, and they're going to be having the Congo tetras and the cribs from here, because it's, you know, it's their big African river. They need lots of fish to fill that one, and these are grown out nicely. We've got some good males and females, and they look great in that group. Now, it wouldn't be much of an underwater deep dive without us checking out Timmy's bog, would it? Now, I've left this whole tank like full of all this vegetation. It's not in the way, like musk turtles like a boggy sort of feel, so that's what I've gone for, and it means you've got to wade and go for it, or we can go in it and feel safe. I was watching some like good documentaries on musk turtles, a lot of research, and they don't like a completely bare tank. They like all these different sort of, I don't know, algified areas and that. Like the grotty, you know, they're from swamps at the end of the day, so, or very boggy ponds, and yeah, he seems to be enjoying this. Let's get in there with him. So basically, from the second I put the camera in, Timmy was very interested, look, straight away. Started looking at my finger, actually, that was holding him, probably because it looks a bit like his food and the fish that are in here. By the way, he doesn't eat the fish, he's just too slow and derpy. But yeah, it's just fun watching him moving around everywhere, isn't it? You can see here, it actually looks like an underwater sort of swamp, doesn't it? There's loads of nooks and crannies, it's not open, there's lots of dark spaces. There's also this bristlenose pleca I was trying to get on camera, and then Timmy just bulldozed his way through. He's got a lot of character in him, isn't he? Even though I've got my hand in the tank, he's still out looking at me. hello. It's because I normally do this when I feed him, you know, like put my hand over the edge and I splash the top of the water so he knows where the food is going to be falling. Like I say, he's quite derpy. He doesn't really, you know, see things all that well. I think their smell is quite good though, so he does always find his food. So you can see here, look, even that clump of moss that is kind of looking like it's in the way, still isn't in the way. It's something for him to sort of perch on. Oh, there's another bristlenose pleco in there, I think, as well. Could be a bad anubias leaf, though. Oh, at this point, I dropped the camera. I was trying to show you, like, a shaded cave area underneath where he was going. By the time I picked it up, he decided to go somewhere else. He's all over the place at the moment, look. But yeah, he's got a lot of personality, isn't he? And it's a cute little thing. Again, I could get rid of all of this algae in the tank if I really wanted to, but I actually think it looks really authentic. So behind me now is the Angelfish aquarium. Again, I've got no idea who these guys are going to be. They're normally quite brave, but then we've got all of those rummy nose tetras and we've got the cardinals in there as well. So they'll be really interesting to go and see coming backwards and forwards. Might put some food in with this one as well, just after we've had a look first of all. Right, let's dive straight in. Now, initially I thought every angelfish would just hide, but they didn't hide. They were very, very aware that I'm there, look. But they weren't that scared, to be honest. A few of them, you know, skirted away, but most of them just stayed put. Now, the cardinals and the rummy nose, they just acted like I wasn't even there. Initially, I think they thought I was food coming into the tank, so they sort of hung around my hand, but then they just did their own thing. There were more cories initially at the bottom, then they scarpered. You can also notice here there's a Bolivian ram. Now, there's actually 2 Bolivian rams in this tank. They have come from my home tank, which I'll talk about later. Basically, the bottom silicon degraded and there's a swimming pool now in my living room. It's okay, I'll get it sorted. But you can see here there's only a few cories out and about at the moment. You watch in a minute. Let's get some food in there and the whole bottom goes absolutely nuts. Right, here we go. I've got a flake and I've got all of the sinking cory pellets as well. I'm going to put them all mostly at the front here so that they fall right where we can see them. And hopefully all the cories stay brave, but I can't wait. I'll show you in a minute. It's so funny to see. And then I've got the flake food as well. I just like to crumble it a bit in my hand. And there's a good sized pieces for everyone. I actually drew a feed today, so this is actually perfect. I'm not just doing it for the sake of the camera. It is feeding time. You've been very good fishies, haven't you? Yeah, look at that lot, quite a lot. I like crumbling up the flakes, so there's basically the whole water saturated with small pieces that they can all get to. I mean, we've got small fishes in here, we've got big mouthed fishes, so I think that's the perfect way of doing it, just making a snowstorm of food. Okay, this is good. We're already starting to get a lot of cories out already. I think it's time for the deep dive. So as you can probably see here, there's way more cories in this tank than first appeared. I tried to get down quite low and then I went a bit too close and scared a few of them off. They are actually quite skittish to the camera if I got anywhere too close. Although, as said by Matt from Made Ahead Aquatics, the albinos, they're very unaware that I was there. Apparently, albino fish have, their eyesight isn't anywhere near as good as sort of normal coloured fish. And this absolutely makes sense. I didn't see them move at all. This back section here packed right out. We can see the stir-by cories looking good. I wanted to get right in there and then they all just zoomed off into the cover of these plants, kicking up a load of aquasoil as well, which is annoying. Not to worry though, we can get that out easy if we really want to, but it's all right at the back there. And if you're wondering how this all looks from outside of the tank, well look, there's a lot going on there. They're stirring up a lot. Not you, Mr. Angelfish. There we go, look. Look at that stir-by. I always pick out the stir-by. I don't know why, it's because they're like, I don't know, they're some of my favourite cories. The orange on the front fins, look at that. So cool. But yeah, we've got the albinos still over here, completely unaware of everything. And those 2 little baby bronzes next to them, again, they're ones that I've bred. That's why they're smaller than the rest. And those are the parents of those babies that you can see. We've actually got about 3 generations of the bronze cory in this tank. And not to forget the golds as well. There's one just there. There we go. Look, right in the centre of the screen. No, not you. It's about the cories now. You've had your airtime. There's a gold right at the back. Yeah, again, probably second favourite of mine is the gold. First is the stir-by for sure. Yeah, there we go. Look there. That is why. That orange. It's just insane. Love it. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Putting a GoPro in some of my tanks. Can't put in all of them, otherwise this video will be 40 minutes long. Maybe do it another time if this video does well. Do all of the tanks. But if you did enjoy this, hit the like, the subscribe button. I will see you on the next one.